There is only one event in which two teams meet each other, known simply as the game. Ohio State versus Michigan is the biggest rivalry in all sports, and both teams hate each other. In fact, both teams refuse to even say the other team's name. The game has often directly influenced the Big Ten championship, college football bowl games, or the playoff picture. And the game has made legends. We all remember Desmond Howard and his infamous Heisman pose. Dave Boston with 10 catches, 217 yards in 98. Charles Woodson with a touchdown catch, an interception, and a punt return in 97. Troy Smith with 316 yards and 4 touchdowns in the 1-2 game in 06. Tim Biakabatuka with 313 yards in 95. And the late Dwayne Haskins with 6 touchdowns in 2018. The game can turn a seemingly great season into a disappointing one and put good coaches on the hot seat. Since the turn of the century, Ohio State has dominated the game. But Jim Harbaugh has seemed to figure things out, turning to the trenches to outmuscle the Buckeyes on his way to back-to-back wins. Can Michigan keep up its recent dominance? Ryan Day said, "Shut up before I put 100 up on you," and hasn't won a game since. Is he now on the hot seat? Will this be his last chance to win the game? This year's game takes place in the Big House, and I can promise that this game is going to have Big Ten championship and playoff implications. Welcome back to Clash of Cultures as we continue our 2023 college football preview. Today is a special day, an exciting day. We're going to talk about the game, Ohio State versus Michigan. But like always, before we get into football talk, we want to thank you guys for the support and love. So if you made it this far, please press the like, subscribe button, and leave a comment. With that, before we get into the game, we want to talk about the comment of the day. And this comment comes from Eric Made of 10 8206. And he said, "My kid dropped his fork at dinner and I yelled fumble. Yeah, I'm ready for the season to start." Eric Made of 10, I feel you, baby. I'm ready for the season to start. So, Steven, as we get into the game, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on this year's The Game?
Alrighty, so obviously, as you guys can see with my father and I's backdrop, he's probably going to do a little bit more talking than me because he's obviously an Ohio State fan. I'm a Clemson fan, so he has a little bit more to say about this. Again, this is an opinionated podcast. You may hear a little bit of bias in his voice, but we're gonna do our best to be non-biased and come from a different perspective. But just to kind of get into it, obviously, as my dad said in the little monologue we played before we got this video underway, Michigan hasn't really won many games since 2000. They have 4 wins in that, or 5 wins, including 2000. But they lost, and then they won the last 2. And obviously, the last 2 they won put them in the playoffs. So wait, did they go to the playoffs 2 years in a row?
They went, 2 years
okay.
in a row. They lost first round both times.
Who they lose to Alabama the first time?
No, Alabama the first time, and then TCU last year.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously, I mean, if you look at the last 4 to 5, between 4 and 6 matchups, I'm almost positive the winner went to the playoffs every time. I could be wrong, but I know Ohio State went in 19 and 18. I could be wrong about 17. But nonetheless, this game obviously has historically proved to have playoff implications.
Quick note, I said Alabama, it is Georgia. They lost
Georgia. Okay, gotcha. But nonetheless, like I said, this game over the last 5 years or so has proved to put a team in the playoffs. And I think this year is going to be the biggest of the game. Obviously, it's a very big game, but I mean, those of you guys who've been watching the channel, I think Michigan is my favorite to win it all. I think they have the most returning coming back. Obviously, my dad thinks Ohio State's going to win it all, but that's not a crazy idea to think either one of these teams are going to win it all. And the fact that they play each other, is crazy because I don't think you can name another matchup in college football that you can realistically say one of those teams are going to win the championship. There's probably, I could count on my hand how many of those matchups are going to be. And I think this one is probably the strongest. If you had to put money on it, if there was odds involved, I think these two they're going to be rated in the top 4 each. I'm sure. So on paper, heading into the season, this is going to be the biggest game. And I think it's rightfully earned. Both of these teams have been, I mean, obviously you guys can't see what I'm looking at on my other screen here, and I don't really want to put it up, but since 2012, the winner of this game was in the top 10 in the AP poll, or, the conference, the CFP. I guess since 2014 has been the CFP. So this has always been a top 10 type matchup. So this is obviously going to be a top 5 type matchup, assuming that they're undefeated when they play. This is going to decide the Big Ten champion. This is ultimately, in my eyes, going to decide who probably at least makes it to the national championship. I don't know if I'm going to go as far as to say winning because we don't know what else is going to go on in college football. But again, I think this game is going to be amazing. It's going to come down to offense, I think. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game this year. Towards the end of the video, though, my dad is not – no, I'm going to say this. Towards the end of the video, I want both of us to give a prediction score-wise. Okay. So that one's going to be kind of fun. So make sure you guys stick around there. But I'll turn the floor over to my dad here to kind of give his synopsis on the game.
Yeah. So Michigan brings back a lot. And if you look at the Michigan preview video, all credit due. JJ's back, Corum's back, Edwards back, and we can continue go down the list of players that they are bringing back. They have a team. They absolutely have a team. I said, and I'll go a little bit farther, I've said that the national champion is coming from this game. Now, of course, I think Ohio State is going to win, but I think the national champion is coming from this game. If you look at Michigan's offense, they really only lost, I will say, one player of substance, which was Ronnie Bell. Ronnie Bell killed us in the Ohio State-Michigan game last year. But they're bringing back Cornelius Johnson, Roman Wilson. And again, we talked about the running backs to include Donovan Edwards, probably the best 2 deep at running back in college football.
I agree. I think that is the best duo in college football.
But Ohio State is no slump. Like, let's not sleep on Ohio State. We know the turnover at quarterback, right? We know CJ's not there anymore. And while I believe Kyle McCord is going to be the starting quarterback, oh my goodness, does he have a bevy of weapons at his disposal. Like I said, if I really had to break it down and I said best player, I think Marvin Harrison may be the best player in college football next year.
I agree with that as well.
Emeka Egbuka was a 1,000-yard receiver. Mayan Williams and Travion both could go for 1,000. Again, I'm not going to put them at the level of Corum and Edwards, but 2 great running backs. Ohio State has notoriously, and especially over the last 4 recruiting classes, recruited better than Michigan. I don't think Michigan has beat Ohio State. And in terms of who you look at in different places are going to have this different. I don't think Michigan's beat Ohio State in recruiting in quite a while. Ohio State did lose 2 starting offensive linemen. They did lose some defensive linemen and 1 running back, but they bring back a lot of that team. They bring back a lot of the key players from last year, to include JT Tuimoloau, Jack Sawyer, Steele Chambers. We can talk about what they have outside, but like I said, we could do the same thing with Michigan. I just didn't want to play it like I think Michigan is bringing back a heck of a lot of talent. They also lost 2 offensive linemen. They lost 2 players from the secondary. But they're bringing back a lot on defense. This is going to be in the old words of my boy Jim Ross from WWE, this is going to be a slobber knocker. And if we can't play, and by we I mean Ohio State, if Ohio State can't play with Michigan in the trenches, if we can't slow that running game, if we can't slow the running game by putting 8 in the box and guard those Michigan receivers one-on-one on the outside, we're not going to win this game. They're going to continue to be stronger than us in the trenches. I think we have better athletes out on the outside. I think our receiving core is better. But this year we're going to be counting on Denzel Burke to lock somebody up and take him away from the game with no help over the top. That way we can pull both safeties down to stop Corum and Edwards. If that does not happen, and let me say this, Ryan Day's on the hot seat, and Ryan Day is a heck of a coach, a heck of an offensive mind. But we went through the John Cooper years where John Cooper was a heck of a coach, if you guys remember him from the 90s, but couldn't beat Michigan. We are coming off two coaches that dominated Michigan. Jim Tressel and Urban Meyer absolutely dominated Michigan. I think we are, as Ohio State fans, we're a little snobbish now, right? After this last game, Ohio State fans were calling for Ryan Day's job. Ryan Day has to know that more than anything, I think we can accept a loss to Penn State. I think we can accept dropping one, not with it included, but dropping one to somebody else. What Ohio State fans cannot accept is a third loss to Michigan. We cannot accept it. And I suspect that if Ohio State loses this game, I suspect that Ryan Day gets replaced. It is that serious to us. This is going to be the game of the year. I am excited about it right now. And anybody who knows me personally, you know, I'm turning off the phone. I'm not answering. If Ohio State loses, you may not, I go MIA. That's me. It means that much to me. There's that much emotion in it to me. My concern is this game is in the big house. 100,000 plus that are going to be screaming, yelling. And again, we're going to be bringing in a first-time quarterback. Now, by that point in time, the quarterback, whoever it is, whether it's Devin Brown or Kyle McCord, they will have played most of the season, but they will not have seen an atmosphere like the big house for Ohio State, Michigan. The amount of pressure, the game is different. It is different. Like we said in the early intro, this game is made stars. And in the same way, CJ will always live with the fact that as the starting quarterback of Ohio State, he did not beat Michigan. That's part of his legacy at Ohio State. This game means that much. We talk about players like Mike Hart for you Michigan fans that did not beat Ohio State. You talk about Aiden Hutchinson, who said, I was not leaving until I beat Ohio State. He had 3 years in which he didn't. That's how much this game means to the boys on both sides of that field. This is going to be a slobber knocker.
I have a question before we kind of give our predictions. If Ohio State were to lose, would you want Ryan Day to be replaced? I
think Ryan Day is a heck of a coach.
Okay.
I think, and it's tough. Will I be hurt? Will I probably say that day that I want Ryan Day fired? Yes. If you give me a couple days, and Ryan Day's another, let's just say another 11-1 with a great showing. With some, I think as temperatures calm a little bit, I won't want to. I think he's a heck of a coach. But yeah, I also will say I need him to beat Michigan. And I will say this. If he does not beat Michigan this year and they lose, I give him a reprieve because the game's in the big house. If they lose in a horseshoe next year, my answer will probably be a absolute 180 turn difference. If you lose 4 in a row, Michigan, I think you got to get up out of here.
Okay.
Got to get up out of here. I love you, Ryan. I love you, Coach Day. But if you win this one, you've bought yourself some time and some patience. You lose this one and next year, yeah, I'm on the bandwagon of, hey, you got to get up out of here.
So I'll give my prediction first. Again, Michigan is my favorite to win it all this year. I'm not a Michigan fan, but I just think they have so much bring back. We talked about the best, in my opinion, the best duo running back. You talk about McCarthy, who's a Heisman, or I would say he's a Stetson Bennett-like quarterback. He's not going to have the numbers, but he's going to win with his team. Harbaugh is a top 5 to 10 coach. You bring back a solid defense. You bring back solidified receivers other than Ronnie Bell. So I think this team's going to be good. One of the best offensive lines in college football. But again, before I let my dad have the floor, I did say I think this is going to be a very offensive-driven game. I think it's going to be very high scoring. My prediction, obviously, this is we're just throwing numbers out there. I'm going to say 38 to 28 Michigan. I'm going to say Michigan wins by 10. That would be my prediction for this game. But I'll go ahead and let you finish off the video while you do the trivia after. What would your prediction be?
Yeah, I'm not going to be an ass. My natural instinct is to say 70-0, and I'm going to tell you that's what I believe in my heart. But I'm not going to be an ass. I'm going to say 42-31.
Okay, so 10 points.
I think athlete, I don't think Michigan, I think, can beat us in the trenches, but I think we right now, as we are practicing, we better be getting tough in the trenches for Michigan. And I think on the outside, we just have better athletes. Now, again, I'll tell you, I've probably thought this for the last 42 years in a row. So at one, I probably thought that Ohio State was a better team than Michigan. So, yeah, I think that's where I think Kyle McCord, by the time, and let me be honest. I think if this game was week 1, I think I would pick Michigan. If this game was week 1, being realistic, I think I would pick Michigan. But I think by game 12, Kyle McCord will have, or again, if it's Devin Brown will have settled into that position. They'll understand how to play the quarterback position at the college level much better, and they'll be ready to go.
Okay, and to kind of end out the video, to round out the video, what did you have for our trivia today, Dave?
All right, so trivia is going to be name or guess the player, right? So guess the player. So we're going to start with this player was drafted in 84, right?
Bro, are you serious? All right, come on, keep going.
Drafted, went to Tennessee, finished in 2000 with the Carolina Panthers.
What position does he play?
I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you. That's too much.
I have no idea. I wasn't even born.
This is you know this person. I will give you that. You definitely know who this is.
Bro, if he was drafted in 84.
But he played until 2000. So it's not like
I was 4. Like, what are we saying?
But you know this. Do you know this person? I'm not even going to give the answer. I'm going to ask, hey, if you don't, well, people in the comments.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I don't know it. So in the comments, let me know. So I'm over 1. That's fine. All right.
Okay. One. Second person. Drafted in 99.
Okay.
Went to Syracuse. Drafted by the Eagles. Ended his career with the Vikings.
In what year did he end his career?
In 2011. You should know this one.
So he was drafted by the Eagles.
Yep, in 99. Ended his career with the Vikings in 2011. Went to Syracuse.
Culpepper.
No.
It's not Culpepper?
First of all, Culpepper went to UCF. He went to Syracuse. Drafted in 99 by the Eagles. Ended his career with the Vikings in 2011.
I don't know who the hell this is.
You should definitely know this. Probably a fringe Hall of Famer.
Is he a receiver?
I'm not telling you.
Is it it's not Sydney whatever his name is, right? It's not him, right?
No, it's not Sydney anybody.
I don't know who this is either, bro. This is hard. This is hard.
This one you should have got. All right, I'm gonna do one more. This one,
real.
If you don't get, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
All right.
I should have probably started with the easy one.
Okay.
Drafted in 2004, went to NC State, drafted by the Chargers, ended with the Colts in 2020.
I'm not gonna miss this one, baby. Phillip Rivers.
That one's
all
Phillip
right.
Rivers.
So that one was an easy one, just because I know his ACC stats and stuff like that. But let us know in the comment section who the other two I missed. I didn't look very sports knowledgeable there. Those of you guys who was talking about Tarleton and the Campbell Camels, you got something to grill me about again. But as always, make sure you guys like, comment down below more trivia questions. Hit the notification bell so you guys can be featured on Comment of the Day when you guys drop that first comment on our videos. Creeping up to 750 subscribers. We're trying to get to 1,000 still so we can give away that signed jersey again. But as always, thank you guys so much, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.